name is Derek Sloan, as Nancy mentioned. I am the corporate controller for Stockyards Bank. I've been in this position for about 10 years now. So today, there's probably a couple employees that are focused exclusively on the close process at month end, one of them being me, one of them being my assistant controller. But all of our employees have various bit parts that they play. And usually what we do is we start about 2 to 3 business days before month end. And that is something we just started a couple of years ago that has really helped us. Essentially, once expense stops moving, we can really jump in there with our analytical processes to kind of correct errors, start explaining our trends and our variances. And this combination of practices has really allowed us to, pre-tax, I can usually close the books within a day and a half. Around 10 years ago, when I first started, we were closing in about 7 to 8 days. It was all Excel, paper-based. I mean, it was a lot of data, a lot of documentation to sift through that generally, sat on somebody's desk for probably 3 weeks until they could get through it. Our general ledger system at the time was not extremely user-friendly, and it's important for me to be able to analyze trends and variances and get the information quickly at my fingertips. So I couldn't really use the general ledger system to quickly see what was going on or research the other side of the entry. So I would always be going to staff or a file cabinet or a desk drawer or something sometimes to kind of pull that information. Obviously, management is always pushing for quicker results. We really weren't in the position to deliver things much, much quicker. We did not have a reconciliation system at the time, so we really couldn't start getting a head start on the close because we were so consumed with just following up on the prior month stuff. To a large extent, folks have a tendency to assume things are working well until something breaks. And being a former auditor, I knew what we were doing or what had been done was not sufficient. We were probably a little bit sloppy, maybe borderline substandard. I was extremely motivated to get in and get a handle on all of these reconciliations and inventory, a way to get some visibility around it. Just because it's not translating into an error that you have to explain to your board or, heaven forbid, after you've released earnings or whatever, you have to go back and restate. That potential was there. And it was simply there because we didn't have the visibility and we really weren't completing our reconciliations timely enough. I wasn't really just asking for a cool toy. There was a need for it. And I would also say that the ART system was, the contract fees were very reasonable. I didn't think there was a significant initial investment. It was an easy decision for me, and it was an easy sell for me personally to my management. When we implemented the ART solution, I would say half of my team they're strong with technology. Some folks were off and running, doing great, probably within the first or second month. But for the others, it took a little bit longer. But, within 6 months, I thought that they kind of got the hang of it. And, they were performing well. They still needed a little bit more feedback and some review points and a little bit of coaching, but they were satisfactory. And then eventually they got to where they really enjoyed it. And, there were times where I thought, they're just always going to resist this. But, just in time, they will get it and they will like it because it's very easy to use. I know that they would never go back to the old way. They just had to give it a shot, be willing to learn a new trick. Yeah, it was as simple as that. Just a little bit of effort and be patient with them and kind of let them learn and adapt. But everybody gets there. One of the ways that ART helped us was we really beefed up not only our reconciliations, but our support and our documentation. And I found that probably 80% of the time I could get what I needed just by looking at the documentation attached in ART as opposed to trying to go through the GL and then track down who had the paper document that supported that. So it was very helpful to me. Essentially getting a little more visibility, a little more efficiency allowed me more time to critique the reconciliations a little bit better and kind of develop my staff and teach and train a little bit better so we could raise our quality standard kind of across the board. It doesn't really replace your processes, it's an enhancement. It's nice to know that I still don't have issues, but when I do have issues, the person that I talk to can resolve it the first time. When you're a small company and you need your information quickly and you're deadline driven, to get quick resolution is everything. We're extremely pleased with the ART customer support. SkyStem folks are reachable and will give you, they will respond to your inquiries quickly with meaningful feedback, and the error gets resolved very, very swiftly.